Hello, good evening, and welcome to the alternate TT Updelay commentary from the game here at Sid City Ground. And what a game it promises to be. Tough act to follow after yesterday's stuff going on, but we should be in for a cracking match today. There's no doubt about that. Really looking forward to this one tonight. Steve Cooper's Nottingham Forest against Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa. Both managers actually have been under fire recently, but Steve Cooper has signed a new contract with Nottingham Forest, so that takes him now up to at least 2026. As for Steven Gerrard, he's in big trouble here at the moment. Only 2 wins all season for Villa, 1 for Forest, so 3 wins between them all season. You'd think all roads would lead to a draw, but Forest have got a point to prove tonight in terms of defeat a week ago to the day against Leicester when they were just too good on the night at the King Power. Leicester, of course, lost again on Saturday. So they know now Forest if they avoid defeat, they go off the bottom of the league. Villa sit just a couple of places above the relegation zone, but 2 Midlands clubs really in big trouble as the teams now emerge from the tunnel. Should be an absolute cracker this one tonight. There's Anthony Taylor, the referee. Of course, it's the No Room for Racism campaign week this week. So remember, there's no room for racism. So let's take a check on the 2 teams then. For Nottingham Forest, it's Dean Henderson in goal for them. And then a back four is Sergio Aurier, Steve Cup, Scott McKenna and Harry Toffolo. And then it's Remo Fiola, Ryan Yates and Chick Kayati in midfield. And then up front, it's Morgan Gibbs-White alongside Emmanuel Dennis and Brennan Johnson. We think it's a 4-3-3, but it could be but we think Gibbs-White could play as an attacking midfielder. But it's a 4-3-3 for Villa with Annie Martinez in goal for them. A back four of Ashley Young, Tyrone Mings, Ezra Konsa and Matty Cash, the former Forest defender. And then John McGinn, Douglas Luiz and Jacob Ramsey make up the midfield three with Philip Coutinho, Ollie Watkins and Emiliano Buendia up front. On the bench for Nottingham Forest, Wayne Hennessy, Joe Worrell, who's usually the co-captain. Ryan Yates is the captain tonight. Nico Williams, ex-Liverpool, Willie Bolly, Oriol Mangala, Jesse Lingard, Lewis O'Brien, Tyro Onareni, and Sam Surridge. For Aston Villa, we've got Robin Holson, the goalkeeper, Cowan Chambers, Jan Bednarek, Morgan Sanson, Marvelous Makamba, Leandro Dindonka, Lamar Bogard, Danny Ings, and Cameron Archer. Last time these ties met back in 1998-9. John Gregory was the Villa manager then. And Ron Atkinson, a former Aston Villa manager, was Nottingham Forest manager when they were being relegated with a complete whimper. 2-0, Villa won that day. Mark Draper and Gareth Barry were the goal scorers that afternoon. But it's Steve Cooper in charge of Forest. He's been a bit under fire. He's been criticised in certain sections, but he's had a really tough job to do this summer. 22 new players. Remember, the squad that got him promoted last season, got his side promoted last season, were all made up of loan signings. So he needed a new squad, and he's had a tough job to blend them in very, very quickly. It's very easy. On the other side of the coin, there you see I see Steven Gerrard. 2 wins all season. Last one being against Southampton, but they're on a 2-match unbeaten run. They got a creditable 0-0 against Leeds last week when Leeds did a lot of the attacking. And there's a lot of certain sections of the Villa fans who do want him gone, but you don't keep a manager like Steven Gerrard down. He has achieved success, albeit in Scotland with Rangers, and that's not being disrespectful for Rangers in any way, but the Premier League down here in England is a lot tougher than the Premier League up in Scotland. Morgan Gibbs-White, just seen there on the picture, getting in that huddle with his new colleagues. Emmanuel Dennis yet to score since his big money move from Watford. And Ollie Watkins could do with a goal himself. Both sides, you feel, haven't really hit top gear this season in terms of league victories. Really good victories. There's Jacob Ramsey. He's having a terrific season personally. He had a good game, I felt, against Southampton a couple of weeks ago. He really did the business there. The referee tonight comes from Greater Manchester. That's Anthony Taylor, experienced referee. Not one of my favourites, but a good referee a decent referee no less, but he's from Greater Manchester tonight. Gary Bezic and Adam Nunn are the two assistants. As we see Carl Frocks there, the former world champion boxer. As the players take an in, we'll get underway in a second. I'll run for the rest of the officials in a second. Forest get us away, attacking the Bridgeford end in the first half in red shirts. Villa in their change shirt and light blue. This is John McGinn on the ball. Just to complete the officials, Tony Harrington is the fourth official, incidentally. And VAR, if required, is the Australian expat, Jared Gillette. Villa now in possession with Konza to Matikash, who knows most of this ground, of course, having played here for Nottingham Forest for many, many years. So he knows what the score is. Scored in the last time I did Matikash, or one of the few times I did him last season. He scored a great goal, you may remember, against Everton, a game that I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed covering last season. But with all the shenanigans, that terrific result for Arsenal yesterday, and winning by 3-2 in a real crackaroonie there at the Emirates, and then Ronaldo getting his 700th goal yesterday for Manchester United in their 3-1 win. Here's Ramsey now. He really has looked to play this season, in my opinion, man of the match. If I remember right, they did them against Southampton, or partly did them. I lost sound, you may remember. Forest have lost their last 5 and were beaten 4-0 by Leicester City in that Midlands derby I was talking about last week. Young with a cross in there, just miscued it. Villa incidentally attacking the Trent end in the first half. Just miscuing the cross there. There's Anthony Taylor, the referee. Dean Henderson now with the goal kick for Forest. And Steve Cooper, he's done a remarkably good job. Let's not beat about the bush here. Okay, they're in the bottom of the league at the moment. They haven't started too well. The one win this season came on week 2 when they beat West Ham United by 2-0. They have taken another point as well against Everton. And in a game, arguably, they could have won at Goodison Park earlier on this season. Led until about the 87th minute, and then Everton got a late equaliser. The harsh realities, and of course, they've had a tough run. They were beaten quite comprehensively, of course, at Manchester City, but most teams are. But here's number 10 now, Morgan Gibbs-White, playing the ball in there. And so much changed Nottingham Forest side since I last covered them or commentated on them for the TCM last season. All intended to get through there, and it was Harry Toffolo who got back there and got it away. I think the referee might have blown for an offside, though. Toffolo, a new signing from Huddersfield Town, might not have been. In fact, it was a foul there. The referee brought play back. It was a foul there on Buendia. So Toffolo's interception there was a bit invaded, as it turned out. 3 minutes gone. Villa taking the free kick for short. Ashley Young has it on the near side. Ball played in there to Ramsey. Ramsey now takes on his man, which is Serge Aurier, former Tottenham player, you may remember. Gets a deflection off Aurier into the side netting for the first corner for Aston Villa. We played just shy of 3.5 minutes gone here on the TCM. Delayed commentary from the City Ground here in Nottingham. Last time I was here to commentate, Arsenal were the visitors and they won 1-0 in the FA Cup. Forest, Lewis Grabban, 83rd minute. Me and Paul James were there. I was there in a presenter's capacity for the next round against Leicester when they won 4-1, sorry. But a lot of the team that day are not there anymore as the quarter comes in short. Buendia tries to make something of it. McGinn again, who had the initial effort, came to Watkins, and a goal kick has been given to Nottingham Forest. In fact, a free kick has been given to Nottingham Forest. Offside is the decision there from the linesman on the far side. Douglas Luiz, I think, was the man caught offside at the end of it all. Bit of a crowd scene there. Buendia had a go. I think it was Douglas Luiz. Was it Ollie Watkins? Well, Luiz was his shot there running back, but I don't think it was Douglas Luiz, actually. I think it might have been Ollie Watkins. Anyway, Forest in possession with number 15, Toffolo, gets the ball forward. And now number 21 here on the ball. Kouyaté, who's a really good bustling midfield player. Ryan Yates will have to have a good game. And skipper Joe Worrell, the actual club captain, is on amongst the substitutes. Excuse me, as Steve Cooper rang the changes. Dean Henderson has played exceptionally well in goal, but they have leaked something like 20 goals already this season. Forest, it's not looking healthy. They could do with a clean sheet tonight, Cooper's men, Steve Cooper's men, but there was a lot of pie in the sky. There was an emergency meeting as there's a Villa player gone down there, and I think it may be Elimano Buendia who's just gone down there, and a little bit of a collision there with Freuler, the number 23 there for Nottingham Forest. A bit of a, I would say, an accidental collision. Nevertheless, a free kick has been awarded here. Well, if you've just joined us here, the late commentary of tonight's Monday night match on the TC Hub on all platforms. With me, JB, John Stuttard in the commentary box. Dennis tries to, Emmanuel Dennis, who hasn't scored yet this season in the league for Forest. Tries to make inroads down the left-hand side, the ball out of play. We're just looking at Steven Gerrard there. Born winner, of course, with Liverpool. Remember that Champions League final against AC Milan? An amazing night that was in Istanbul, but he'll need a lot of more courage than that at the moment to try and keep his place. He could do with a win himself, Steven Gerrard. But not far off the relegation zone themselves, lying in 16th place. So they really could do with a win to boost their season. So both sides really needing the points for the same sort of reason. Both managers under fire, but Steve Cooper, as I said at the start of the show, start of the game, has signed that new contract with Forest. There was a lot of, I was just going to finish off what I was saying about Steve Cooper. There was a lot of talk in the press that Sean Dyche was going to be the next Forest manager, and the usual merry-go-round of Rafa Benitez. He's always linked with a job these days, isn't he, Rafa Benitez? Of course, he had that torrid spell at Everton earlier last season, which has sort of tarnished his brilliant reputation, really, as a manager. A lot of Forest fans didn't fancy him. As it turns out, though, Steve Cooper has now signed that new deal. There was a board meeting at Forest. A lot of people thought that Steve Cooper was going to get the dreaded vote of confidence, which always signs doom as a manager. Anyway, here's Cash making a good run down the right-hand side, but it's way, way over hit. And in fact, it goes out of a play for a throw-in on the near side by the corner quadrant to Nottingham Forest. Martin Cash, who came through the ranks here at the City Ground, knows every bit of grass here. Was brought to Villa a couple of years ago under the previous manager. I think it was Dean Smith. Cost them a few quid. And Forest. He's a very promising player at Nottingham Forest. Cash, and I'm hoping now he really does succeed his potential at Aston Villa. I think he's a really good right back. And if he shows great form, I would say that he's got every chance of maybe gate-crashing Gareth Southgate's England squad in a lot of senses. He's a good player, excellent on the ball, terrific feet. There's one man I've just seen there, Tyrone Mings on the ball, played to concept. Mings, of course, could well be assuring for the World Cup squad. World Cup now just 40-odd days away now. You'll be able to hear all the action that matters on the TC Hub. I'll be part of the commentary team alongside all the usual regulars. Russ Vernon and Mike Harneman and Nicholas Jones and Paul James will all be there. Hopefully Trevor and CW will be joining our distinguished commentary team as well for the tournament. Plenty of good World Cup stuff coming your way in the next couple of months, and we're looking forward to covering that Qatar tournament for you. Ball played into the penalty area. Steve Cook got it out. And no foul there on the Villa man. Play on. And, just getting a little bit bitty in that midfield area in here as the ball now is played back to Emi Martinez, the Argentinian. Possession, 51% so far for Villa, 49 for Forest, and 43 passes apiece. Although Villa will have gone a bit further than that. And the accuracy is exactly the same, 81% each. So in a lot of respects, they're level in every sense. Scoreline, pass accuracy, Villa just shading possession. I would say still even Stevens here in this first 10 minutes. It's a Forest throw, area with it down the right-hand side, and the ball actually back by Ashley Young, who got a good foot in there, back to Manny Martinez. Now Konza. Of course, I should tell you that, I'll remind you that this match day, of course, it's a good time now to reiterate to people that there is no room for racism. It's the No Room for Racism campaign that the Premier League has run successfully for many, many years. And it's important that people understand that particular fact to life, that there is no room for racism in life as well as in any sport, especially football. And we all are an equal society, and the Premier League do make good work in able to promote racism. It's a sad sight to hear a lot of people coming to speak out against the racist abuse that they've suffered over the years. So, and of course, we don't condone racism on the commentary or by, but here's Buendia, who wins his side a free kick, fouled there by Ryan Yates. No, I think it was Serge Aurier. Yates Riley put him off. Yates had got in there, but Aurier is the man being spoken to by the referee, Anthony Taylor. I'll just remind you, if you are going to comment on the delay stream, please keep your comments and your opinions clean. We're still a family program, whether we're live or delayed on the TC Hub. We are coming to you on the TC Hub, TC Hub 2, JB Sports, and Storm FM. And we'll also be streaming this game on delayed commentary on Twitch as well. So a free kick to Villa. And Philip Coutinho's looks the favourite to me. Douglas Luiz is there too, but it's going to be the right foot, I fancy, of Philip Coutinho. And Douglas Luiz, the way he's lined up, might fancy a pot shot. Forest, they've got a four-man wall. There's a three-man Villa wall just in the front of it. It's going to make it very difficult for Dean Henderson. Coutinho hits that four-man Forest wall. It was a right-footed effort, but as I say, didn't get enough purchase or enough whip or enough height to whip it over that Forest wall. Here's Andy Martinez kicking away, right-footed. Down the ground it goes. Header won there brilliantly by Sergio Aurier. And out for a throw-in on the near side to Aston Villa, which Ashley Young is going to take now. Real opportunities. Royal has been spoken to by the referee. Here's Young now down the left-hand side, tracked by Aurier and Yates. Buendia gets the cross in, and well defended again, this time by Scott McKenna. And now here come Forest on the break with Emmanuel Dennis. Dennis now, he's got two either side of him. It's Emmanuel Dennis now for Nottingham Forest. Just ran out of option. Didn't have too much in support, but he's got it in Yates, who now finds Brennan Johnson. Johnson with the ball in there. A chance in there for Forest, and it's knocked away by Douglas Luiz. In fact, he's hacked it away, Douglas Luiz. That was a really good moment there, potentially for Nottingham Forest to take the lead. Game of head tennis going on. Aurier gets the ball forward. Dennis flicks it on to Johnson. Dennis continues his run down the right-hand side. Dennis takes on Mengs. Mengs muscled him down to the ground, and Dennis wants a free kick, and he's got it. We've had 13 and a quarter minutes gone, 3/4 minutes gone, and Forest have a free kick here in a very dangerous position on the right-hand side. Yeah, it's just shoved him to the ground there, Mings. He's a big, bulky, strong centre-back. The afro hairstyle there. Good defender. Will be in Gareth Southgate's plans for the forthcoming World Cup in Qatar. It's a free kick to Nottingham Forest. Morgan Gibbs-White, the former Wolves man, is going to take it. Right-footed. 20 weight in red. 2, 4, 5 in there. There's about 7 or 8 Villa blue-shirted, light blue Villa shirts back, including Matty Cash, the ex-Forest player. There's Gibbs-White then to swing it in, right-footed. I said there's 5 in the area. There's two Forest players on the edge of the D. One is Aurier, the other I can't see. Anyway, the ball played in. Dennis with a header! And Dennis scores for Nottingham Forest! With 15 minutes of the first half played. Breakthrough on the City ground. And it's Nottingham Forest who take the lead. And it's their first goal in Nottingham Forest. Gabaldi red for Emmanuel Dennis. That's big buy from Watford. What a good free kick this was from the right-hand side from Morgan Gibbs-White. And Dennis was just on mark. Mings left him. It was fatal from the Villa viewpoint. Tyrone Mings, knew it was him. And he has to take the blame, the England centre-back. It's a free header for Dennis. And Emmanuel Dennis, who scored for Watford last year against Villa in a victory there at Vicarage Road and scored the equaliser against Villa at Villa Park last season, has done it to them again. Emmanuel Dennis. He's a menace to Villa, that's for sure. 1-0 to Nottingham Forest. 15 minutes gone and problems afoot for Steven Gerrard. He's a man under pressure. What a start for Nottingham Forest. They've not really been in it. It's been an even Stevens first quarter an hour, but that goal now might just liven up the game as a contest now. His first goal of the season and his first in Gabaldi red for Nottingham Forest. And that will give him a lot of confidence. And now McIntyre. And the Paul McCartney song that they sing every time is now being sung around this fantastic City ground. A great ground of English football. I'm glad to see it back in Premier League action. Nottingham Forest 1, Aston Villa 0 on the TCR. Ball played towards Ashley Young. Takes it nicely on the chest. Plays it now to Jacob Ramsey. Ramsey now. Villa have got to play with a bit more urgency. I think we might see a much more. We just needed a goal to light the blue touch paper. We've got it now. Ball chipped forward by Konza. Cash makes a run down the right. Tracked again by the Forest defence. Ball knocked into the penalty area. Young is at the back post. Dean Henderson, the former Manchester United and Sheffield United goalkeeper, takes that very, very well. And that is a calming influence. Now we might just see a bit more of an open game. It was a bit even Steven. But now we've got that goal from Emmanuel Dennis. We might now just see a good open game of football and really see two teams now going at it hammer and tongs. Villa will have to come forward. There's no doubt about that. But Forest are very likely, well, certainly last season, they were very, very good on the counter-attack. Note against Arsenal. And they haven't got that team from last season, but they do have... Oh, that's a bit of a naughty one there by Serge Aurier. He may well go in the book for that. And indeed he will. Anthony Taylor, no hesitation getting up the yellow card. I think that's a very fair and good decision from the referee. Oof. Yeah, it was a one-footed challenge rather than the two. If it had been two-footed, I think Jared Gillett might have got involved on the VAR. But yeah, it was a one-footed challenge we stood showing. And under the rules, under the letter of the law, I think Anthony Taylor was exactly spot on with that decision. So Aurier goes into the referee's notepad. And we've got a free kick here for Nottingham Forest. 1-0 they lead for Aston Villa. 1-0 they trail on the TC Hub and all platforms. Don't forget to check out our Twitter handle for all the latest news and breaking news and information on games coming up on the hub. At Commentary Live 1 is our Twitter handle. As Brennan Johnson plays it into Emmanuel Dennis. Dennis does really well. Here's Brennan Johnson. It was Morgan Gibbs right, so he played the initial ball to Dennis. Here's Ashley Young taking on Serge Aurier. That's going to be a bit of a battle down that near side. Goal kick Forest. Aurier did well. He's got to be careful, of course, Serge Aurier. He's already, as I said, he's just been booked by referee Taylor, so he's got to be careful. He makes another bad foul. He could run the risk of being sent off. This is the goal. I'm just seeing the goal again. Gibbs-White perfectly weighted free kick. And really, the Villa defence were nowhere. No one picked up Emmanuel Dennis. And I'm going to hazard a guess that Tyrone Mings was the closest. And I think Tyrone Mings should have been the man, in my opinion, picking him up there. And I think he has to take a lot of the responsibility for that. Anyway, so Forest 1 up, but at the moment it's Villa on the attack. Ball up forward, and Ollie Watkins was there, but Dean Henderson can let that go into his box very comfortably under no great pressure and pick the ball up casually as well. Well, the pressure mounts on Steven Gerrard. A lot of Villa fans aren't happy with the managership this season and are calling on the club's hierarchy at Villa Park to sack the manager. We saw him against Southampton last time out on the TCL, and it wasn't a vintage Villa performance by any means, but they did get the victory. But I think most supporters these days want to see a bit of entertainment. There is no doubt about that. But that said, you do want to see entertainment, and the Villa fans certainly haven't had that. I mean, they've had some decent results. I mean, they got a 1-1 draw against Manchester City at Villa Park a few weeks ago, which was a very good result under any circumstance. I don't think his wife's been penalised, presumably for handball. He tried to take that down, or was he the shirt pull? Anyway, it was a free kick to Villa. I don't know what he did wrong there, to be honest. Anyway, ball played back, and it's a chance now for Young. About 25 yards from goal. Hits it right forward, and in he goes! A terrific goal for Villa! Ashley Young! It's his first goal and his second spell for the club. His first goal in Villa colours for over 12 years. And what a time to score it. And that has silenced the City ground. Nothing in the world that Dean Henderson could have done about it. And Forest have been pegged back. And they will have a few moans and groans about the awarding of the free kick, which led to the goal. But having said all that, you've got to defend better than that. Not a very good header away, although it was under a bit of pressure. There may have been a high foot in there as well on one of the defenders there. I'm not sure it was. Number 22 it was, Ryan Yates. There may have been a foul on him, but never mind that. No, there was no foul there. It comes to Young now. Right foot, bang. Into the left corner it went. It's a super goal from all of, 25 yards? Maybe a little less than that, but halfway through the first half, Villa have hit back in the best positive way, in the best possible way. Ashley Young, first of the season, 1-1. So it's a night of fuss here at the City ground. Emmanuel Dennis's first goal of the season put Forest ahead on the quarter-hour mark. 7 minutes later, Ashley Young's first goal of the season, and his first since rejoining from Manchester United, has put Villa level. So a night of firsts in more ways than one. Throw to Nottingham Forest by the near corner quadrant towards the Bridgeford end. So a good goal, terrific goal from Ashley Young. He has it in his locker. There's nothing. I don't think Dean Henderson can be too upset about that. There's nothing nothing in the world he could have done about that. It was a terrific goal. In fact, both goalkeepers don't need to feel ashamed about being beaten. Great header from Dennis to open the scoring, and then that terrific extra set from Ashley Young has really set up the game here. I'm just seeing if there was a foul on Ryan Yates. Well, Ramsey does go in using his feet there. I've got to say, Yates does go down, and I think, well, this is where the VAR issues do get a bit tricky and muddy the water somewhat, because is that a clear and obvious thing, that foul on Yates, the potential foul on Yates? But there we go. Here's a little stat for you. No player so far has scored more than one goal for Villa this season. So Watkins, Ings have all got one goal each. It's an interesting statistic. It shows how bad Villa have been really this season. But still, there's a long way to go in this game. Anyway, as the boys play through again. I apologise. I've still got a bit of a horsey voice. Anyways, here come Villa again, and they've got plenty forward here. Buendia plays it back. Away by Yates, but only half away. And now Villa have a chance, and here's Jacob Ramsey. Ramsey shot across the line. It's turned in by Watkins. Flags up for offside. The goal's not going to stand. Linesman on the far side, Gary Bezic, has put the flag up, and the goal does not count. To the vast relief of the City ground. Now let's see if Watkins was offside here. Well, take your choice from two there. I think Steven Gerrard knew. Good decision by the linesman. Watkins and another Villa player were both at least 2 yards offside. Ramsey now turned away. Still remains 1-1. Number 26, Scott McKennie now for Forest. Ball had a play over on the far side where the Brian Clough stand is. A bit of divine intervention, that offside goal from Mr. Clough. You can't come to the City Ground without knowing the history of Forest and what that man achieved. Here's Brennan Johnson, shoots and deflects wide for a corner. The young man really has produced a performance. I wonder what Cloughy would say about Ashley Young. Man, and that Ashley young man. You want to go on that once? Couldn't resist that Brian Clough impression. But anyway, that's what Cloughy would think about that. Anyway, corner to Forest. 1-1 the score on the TC Hub and all the platforms, including Storm FM, JB Sports, TC Hub 2, and the TC Hub itself. And we're also on Twitch. Anyway, delayed commentary. Here's Morgan Gibbs-White with the corner into the penalty area. They all go up again. Brennan Johnson was up. That's a foul. Surely the referee's got a blow at this point. Yes. Well, it's a dangerous challenge to me. And Aston Villa want retribution. They want a red card. Yellow is going to be the colour. I wonder if VAR will get involved here. It was, I'm just seeing who it was. I think it was Steve Cook who was in there battling away. It looks like Steve Cook. Yes, it was Steve Cook. Holds bar challenge. It was the one. I think it was one-footed. I think the Villa players wanted red. I don't think it was a red card in the Mumford. It's definitely a yellow. I think again on the second Forest yellow card, as in the first, I think the referee was 100% correct. I understand one can understand the Villa protestations, but having said all that, you've got to apply the letter of the law as well. And the letter of the law is if it's a one-footed tackle, we're still showing it's a yellow card. You know, it's dangerous. I mean, if any danger, if I'm being honest, any dangerous challenge should be worth at least a red card. But unfortunately, I don't make the rules up. So if you are going to write to me and say you're wrong, you know, I'm this, I'm that, I wouldn't even bother writing. It's not worth the ink it's printed on. So, you know, I don't make the rules up. It's just the way that things come. So no Villa fan or Forest fan start complaining to me. Anyway, Sergio Aurier now for Nottingham Forest. Still 0-0. Still 1-1, sorry. Here's Brennan Johnson. And Aurier was pushed. Referee was right on the spot again. Not missing anything tonight, Anthony Taylor. It's got to be said. He's made one or two iffy decisions. But in the main, I think he's got both yellow cards correct. Forest won a free kick. The referee was never liable to give a free kick. Steven Gerrard wants to wear with the referees. Glaring in Anthony Taylor's direction. Oh my goodness. It's been a hair and scare and first 28 minutes of play here on the TC Hub here on the delayed commentary of Forest and Villa. It's gone quick. I will say that. 28 gone. 1-1. With the throw in. Back to number 23 here. Froyer. And he does really well. Now then, Brennan Johnson. This man's got pace to burn. He can play a good ball in. That wasn't one of his better efforts. And now the ball picked up by Froyer again. Now then, Ryan Yates. Yates now looking to take on his man, which is Ramsey. And Ramsey gets the foot in and concedes the throw. The Nottingham Forest, which Sergio Aurier, for the umpteenth time, will take. Aurier's throw did look a little bit of a foul throw there, but referee allowed it to go. Cook plays it forward into the area. Mings with an easy header away. And Douglas Luiz in there. That's a strong challenge. Referee, I think, allowing it to go on. He thought that the challenge was a fair one. Here's Morgan Gibbs-White now running at men. But, or rather, Emmanuel Dennis. But Buendia got back. The Villa player, Luiz, is still down, although he's picking himself up as I talk to you. Steve Cook having to get there with Ollie Watkins close at hand. And the ball out of play for a throw on the halfway line to Aston Villa. Douglas Luiz, he's back on his feet. Not feeling too much after effects, and he's on the ball now, actually, just inside his own half. Back to Mings. Of course, I will have to choose a player in the match later on as well. As the ball sprayed in there, Watkins is onside. Can the ball? Oh, He's just kept the ball in play, and then he slipped over as well into the advertising board, which given Forest cheap possession there. Steve Cook. He's trying to chase a lost cause like all good players do, Ollie Watkins, and in attempting to do that, his momentum's taking him into the boards, and Forest have gained some territory advantage there, and we've got a free kick for it. So Forest have a free kick then. Sergio Aurier to take it. Half an hour play, quarter of an hour to go the first half, plus any additional injury or stoppage time. JB John Stuttard here, doing the delayed alternate commentary for you tonight. And a raucous City ground. Ball chipped forward again, looking towards number 21 there, which is Coyote. Matty Cash getting involved there. He's made some good running down that right-hand channels. He knows this ground very well. He used to play right back here in his younger days as a pro here at the City ground. So he knows, as I say, every braid of that right-hand side of the City ground. He knows the pitch dimensions. He knows everything. Villa shaded it 56-44% in possession. Here's Ollie Watkins. They've had 4 shots to Forest 2. And on target, 1 apiece, both resulting in goals. Dennis for Forest, Young for Villa. Now, here's Sergio Aurier now down the right-hand side. Trots towards halfway, gets it over halfway to Brennan Johnson. Plays it back over halfway to Aurier. And now, Freuer has it now, still in his own half. Gets it over to the far side. And Harry Toffolo, who really impressed in Huddersfield's run to the playoff final last season. He's a really good player. Forest felt the need to buy him. You might ruin your opponent's noses in it. You beat them, and then you think you buy one of their best players. Forest, Huddersfield have been struggling in the Championship this season. I haven't got over that playoff heartbreak hangover. Still 1-1 here. If you've just joined us, here's Mings. Spreads the play out, lovely, nice ball, and still it remains 1-1. Here go. Brewer again. Ball not back in there once more, and it's out of play for a throw-in. Been a very good first half, this. Here's Wendy now, the former Norwich man. Big money signing a couple of seasons ago. From Norwich under Dean Smith. Here's Buendia again. Looking to try and make things happen. Mings is there too. Referee says play on. Even though Buendia was fouled. Here's Ramsey. And he's got 2 Forest players converging on him, and in the end, Chioti got it away, as it turned out. Been a very competitive first 32 minutes, but just getting to get a little bit bitty as it was at the start. Emmanuel Dennis has kept that in play down right below it, and then Dennis goes down under challenge from Young. Young sportingly helps Dennis back up. It's a 3 kick and no more. I think again, Anthony Taylor spot on with that decision. Here's Harry Toffolo now for Forest. Has to cut back inside. Here's Kuyate. Has to go back once again. This is Steve Cook from Scott McKenna. To now Sergio Aurier. Aurier now starting to build something again with Brennan Johnson. They're trying to link up pretty well, them two, on the Forest right-hand channel. 33 gone on all TCR platforms. Delayed commentary of this Monday night feast of football. Forest 1, Villa 1. Emmanuel Dennis on 15 minutes for Forest with a free header from a free kick. And then Ashley Young on 22 minutes with a superb 25-yard cracker with his right foot. That's brought the scores level. Morgan, here come Forest again with Toffolo. Hits a defender. It will be a throw-in. Toffolo will take it on the far side. Still 1-1. Toffolo now looking for options. Might get one here in Morgan Gibbs White. Instead he uses number 23 there, Freuer. And gets the ball back from Toffolo Freuer. Aurier now has had plenty of the ball in this opening 35 minutes. Ball chip forward again. Looked offside there. I have to say Ryan Yates, but he stayed onside. Yates still has possession. Plays it back now to Aurier. That's a good cross towards the back post. And Konate got the header in. Check Chiati. It came in at the back post. It was a good header, but it was a good enough header. Just lacked the power. In the end, a decent header, but a very tame one in terms of power. And in the end, it was an easy save as it turned out for the goalkeeper, Vinny Martinez. And an interesting first 35 minutes or so. Here's the ball back again and out of play goes Scott McKenna. Just hooping it there. Broda Villa in line of the Forest 18-yard box on the far side, right in front of the Brian Clough stand. Opposite B. 10 minutes to half time then. And still it remains 1-1. Ball play forward again. And that might go for a throw in. Yes, it does. But here goes across to take it. Does he? No, he's going to leave it to Matty Cash. Cash, formerly a Forest, of course, will take the throw. We're shaving up for a long one here. Quite a chilly night here on the banks of the River Trent. It's the ball knocked back in there. Easy take for Dean Henderson. Henderson gets the throw out. Just went behind Brennan Johnson, who, to his great credit, kept it in. Wasn't the best throw out I've seen from Dean Henderson. Of course, he's played for a World Cup place. There's 3 goalkeeping spots. Pickford, you feel, will be number 1. And then there's Aaron Ramsdale, who's having a terrific season with Arsenal. They're top of the league at the moment. Ramsdale having a great season. I think he'll be shooting in. I think it's between Dean Henderson and Nick Pope of Newcastle for the third spot for England. So we'll just have to see how that one plans out. Here's Tyrone Mings now to Ashley Young. Young turns nicely. Here's number 23 again, Philip Coutinho. Not seen much of him in the attacking force, I'm afraid, in this first half. Young plays it in there. Here's Ramsey. Oh, he was bundled to the ground, surely there by Fryer, and that's surely going to be a free kick there to Aston Villa on the left-hand side. It's definitely outside the penalty area. Fryer definitely got the man and not the ball. The ball had gone a couple of split seconds before Fryer came sliding in like a train. Just a free kick then to Villa. But it's in a very good position, and it's a position of some danger here for Forest. Douglas Luiz is fancying this. He doesn't think the wall's 10 yards back. I've got to say, that's probably about 7 or 8 yards back, that wall. And Douglas Luiz is having words with the referee, who doesn't want to know. That's not 10 yards, says Douglas Luiz. The referee may want to retrace his steps. That does not look 10 yards back to me. If that's 10 yards back, then I'm Jeremy Paxman. And there was a 3 in that wall, and now I think there's 2. It's back to 3 now. Free kick. Then there lies the problem. By the law of averages, Forest have kept that in. Douglas Luiz may have a word or two to say to the referee about that. That definitely went out of play. Will get the throw, but it's just starting to get a little bit bitty now. Young and Kanate and Buendia, there's a bit of pushing and shoving going on, and we don't really need this. Come on. The referee needs to get a grip on this, and Fryer now getting involved when he's no need to. Now Young's getting involved. It's all getting a bit. It's if it's not careful, we're going to have a complete free-for-all here, and this can't be good for the game. The referee calling Buendia over and Kanate over by the sounds of it. Kanate stayed away from the referee. I'm not sure. Brennan Johnson being called here. No, Kanate has been summoned by the referee now. It is those 2, and I just think he's going to just give him a bit of a ticking off here. John McGinn, the captain here, lending an ear to the conversation, and so too Ryan Yates, the Forest captain as well. So, well, all's well that ends well, but it all started with that ridiculous. I don't think the referee got 10 paces. It was definitely that. I mean, that free kick was never 10. I mean, that wall on that last free kick was never 10 yards. Never in a month of Mondays. Anyway, the ball knocked back again. And here's handed one by Mings. Now then, ball knocked forward. Good control by Dennis, but he couldn't control the pass, unfortunately. And it's Douglas Luiz who picks up possession. Ashley Young now in possession. Villa now looking for this second goal. Luiz plays the ball in there, knocked away. Yates involved, but it's Buendia winning it. Yates again, good committed challenge. But then the ball breaks to Matty Cash on the far side. The referee's actually blown for a foul there on Ryan Yates, and a free kick. It is to Nottingham Forest. 1-1 here. Decent game, this. Not as dramatic, of course, as the big game yesterday, but it's had its moments. It's had its flashpoints. It's had two wonderful goals, one for each side. And if it does stay 1-1 at the break, we might be set fair for a very good second half, I hope. Here's Dean Henderson with the kick. Right-footed, down towards the right-hand side. Johnson flicks it on. It's a Villa throw. Johnson figuring it came off Young's head, but the verdict of Adam Nunn, the fourth official. The assistant is Villa ball. And Nunn now saying, come on, you've got to stop pinching yards, he's saying, Adam Nunn. And let's try and get on with the game. I hate it when players try to pinch yards from throw-ins. I understand you can bend the rules to an exact extent, but when rules are being broken, like Ashley Young was trying to do there, that really takes rule breaking to a whole new level. Anyway, we're inside the last 5 minutes here at the City Ground of the first half. Just to remind you that the man of the match, or the player of the match later on, when I have to choose that, will be sponsored by Barry Swain's Commentary Services. Just remind you what channels this game, delayed commentary is being streamed on. We're on JB Sports, Storm FM, TC Hub and TC Hub 2, and Twitch. YouTube channels I mentioned, as I say, JB Sports, not J Football, JB Sports, Storm FM, TC Hub 2, and TC Hub. All those YouTube platforms you hear TC Hub content on for this season. There's Women's Football and Champions League football dominating this week, of course. Premier League will be back on Saturday, and then there's some midweek games a week on Tuesday. Starting the week on Tuesday. On the Wednesday night, the big featured match is Manchester United against Tottenham, and what a game that really does promise to be, that one. Should be a bamboozle of a game, that one. Still 1-1 if you've just joined us here and on the TCF platforms. With a decent first half as we come towards the dying embers of it. Here's Jacob Ramsey, good ball here. Picks up Ezri Konsa. Konsa now looks to pick a man out. May well use Tyrone Mings, he does. In return uses Douglas Louise. Now Louise comes charging over the halfway line, or just strolls over the halfway line. I think that's a more accurate way of putting it. And then there's a little bit of a set to there again with Yates, and it's just getting a bit too feisty here. The referee's just got to keep a lid on things here at the moment. Here's Ramsey in possession from the quickly taken Villa free kick. 1-1 is the score, coming up towards half-time. Here's Tyrone Mings. Mings in possession. Good ball out to Young. Young looks for support. He finds it there in Philip Coutinho. Now in the middle of the park. Here comes into Ramsey. Ramsey now has had a lot of joy on that near side. Here he goes again. Good running from Ramsey. Good promising young player that Villa have got in their ranks. Konsa gets struck forward and has played a little bit more in behind. Chance here for Villa. Ball played back towards Jacob Ramsey by Matty Cash, and it's Fryer who gets it out for a corner. And just for a split second, it was danger at the Trent end for Nottingham Forest. It's a lovely bit of play here. Cash stayed onside easily there. Ball bumped to crack across, and Fryer had to get there. Otherwise, it might have been problems there for Forest and for Steve Cooper. Second corner then for Forest. They go short. Back to Cash from the corner. Pulled out towards Louise on the edge of the box. Shots deflect. And now here's a chance for Morgan gives wide. He was fouled there by Konsa. He will pick up a card. That's surely got to be a professional foul in anyone's language. And on cue, the referee about to book the first Villa player tonight. It's Ezri Konsa. And again, I think the 3 yellow card decisions that Mr. Taylor's made have all been bang on the money. I think that's good refereeing, that. We all knew that this was a professional foul because Gibbs White was getting away from Konsa. And Konsa had no other option but to put the professional foul on to preserve Villa's parity as we go into the final minute, away into the final minute now. We've got about 30 seconds of normal time just over to go. So Ezri Konsa has been booked. We're now into that last 30 seconds of normal time. We'll get indication from fourth official Tony Harrington of how much longer there will be. Offside has been I think the ball's got out for throwing actually. We'll get confirmation from Tony Harrington, the fourth official, how long there will be at the end of the first half. Guessing there may be a minute, maybe two, and that's at best. We'll get an indication now. We've hit the 45-minute mark. 2 added minutes. I think that's a fair one from Tony Harrington. That's fair enough. So 2 more added minutes to be added on. As both sides go in search of a late goal at the end of the first half to get either side in at the breaking front. And it would be a feather in one's cap if that could be the case. Back to Henderson, the kick. He sliced that high and long into the Nottingham night sky, and it's out of play for a Villa ball. And that's what Adam Nunn there is signalling, the linesman on the near side. So Young with a throw then. Didn't pinch many yards this time. And he's throw, it's Mings now on the chase. And Brennan Johnson wins the throw this time. Adam Nunn there quite signalling to put his bike to his right-hand side, where Forest are attacking in the first half, incidentally. The Bridgeford end will be attacking their favourite Trent end in the second half. 1 minute of the 2 left at the end of the first half. Douglas Luiz has been penalised here. And can we see a late show from Forest towards the end of the first half? It would be an amazing moment in the game if they could do here. A dramatic climax at the end of the first half. Gibbs White from the last free kick, which led to the goal on a quarter of an hour. Can he put in another tasty delivery here? Manuel Dennis headed in. Can he do the trick again? It's a bit further out this time. Just one man in that wall. Villa. And it's Philip Coutinho who's the one man in that wall. Here comes Gibbs White. High one in there towards the far post. Misses everyone inside the Villa penalty box. And we've got about 5 seconds of the allotted 2. I should stress it's a bit of a mob, but I don't think there'll be any more than that. Indeed, there isn't. So, and that's all we had, the 2 minutes. Steve Cooper walks off, followed swiftly by Steven Gerrard. But it's been a good first half. No doubt about it. Emmanuel Dennis had put Nottingham Forest ahead after 15 minutes. And then Ashley Young with a 25-yard extra set missile with his right foot into the left corner has given Villa parity at half-time. So a good game here at the City Ground. It's been very entertaining. It has been bitty at times. But having said all that, been good action. And it's been a highly entertaining first half in all respects. So the half-time situation as we leave you for a short break here on the TC Hub here at the City Ground. It's Nottingham Forest 1, Aston Villa 1. Well, welcome back to the game here at the City Ground, where it's 1-1 at the moment. So should be a good second half in the making here now as we endeavour to get back underway. There's Dean Henderson there just running out for the second half then. 1-1 on the TC Hub. Just to remind you the goal scorers. The goal scorers are as follows. Daniel Dennis on a quarter of an hour, putting Forest into the lead. And then 7 minutes later, that 25-yard extra-set missile with the right foot of Ashley Young. His first goal since returning from Villa after 12 years with Manchester United. Let's put the visitors level in a game that both teams could do with winning, as Noah McIntyre is played. Noah of Kintyre plays around the ground. The famous anthem, of course, for Paul McCartney in the late 70s. Forest have just adopted it as their sort of theme song now. Let me just remind you the sides. We'll give you a recap of the two teams in just a second. There's no changes from either side at half time, incidentally. So both 11s are exactly the same as they were from the first period. This is Cash now, number 2, going down the right-hand side. Villa attacking their own supporters now at the Bridgebed end in the second half, just to remind you. So let me just run through those teams again. So Villa with Forest, Robert, will run through the teams after this corner, Robert, because Villa have got a corner here. So we'll just hang on. So just remind you, Forest, Henderson in goal, Toffolo, McKenna, Cook, Aurier, Fryer, Chiarte, Yates, Gibbs White, Emmanuel Dennis, Brennan Johnson as well. So they're Forest 11. We'll bring you Villa's 11 in just a second as Louise swings the corner in again. Knocked away now. Dennis can get that away. Ramsey now intercepts for Villa. We'll bring you Villa's 11 in a second. Ball played in there. Ryan Yates gets it away. Now then, a chance here for Dennis to launch an attack. Villa have possession now with Matty Cash. So let's just run through that Villa side in a minute or two. In fact, we will now. Eddie Martinez in goal. Matty Cash, Ezri Konsa, Tyrone Mings, Ashley Young. And then it's John McGinn, Louise, Ramsey. And then it's Buendia, Watkins, and Coutinho. So away we go now in the second half as the ball's knocked forward. Just remind you that VAR is Jared Gillette and Anthony Taylor is our man on the field. Forest in the red shirts, Villa in the light blue. So just a little recap for you now as we had 2 minutes here on the TC YouTube channel, JB Sports YouTube channel, Storm FN YouTube channel, and TC 2 YouTube channel, and we're also on the TC Twitch channel as well. Here's Coutinho breaking into the penalty area. Good play here by Coutinho. Coutinho shoots, but he's over the top into the Bridgewood end for a goal kick for Nottingham Forest. This real flash we've seen from the former Liverpool and Barcelona man in this game thus far. Haven't seen much of him really today tonight rather as an attacking force. And he got his shot all wrong and wasn't going to trouble the scorers or Dean Henderson for that matter. Good game so far. It's really ebbed and flowed as a game would expect, but it has been bitty in a lot of respects. We've had goals, and that's all you can ask for really tonight. As Toffolo makes the break, but the ball from Brennan Johnson just a bit too overhit as Toffolo tried in vain to keep the ball in by the byline. Villa have taken the goal kick quickly to Tyrone Mings. They've seen Forest nap it a little bit, and they might just punish here on the break with Young. Can't find Ollie Watkins though. I'll run for the two benches as well in a second or two because Forest are on the attack. Dennis's first touch was very heavy indeed. It's Matty Cash now for Villa. Ezri Konsa, he's got to be careful. Remember, we've already got in the book Serge Aurier and Steve Cook for Forest, and we've got Ezri Konsa booked for Villa. And all three bookings have been correct decisions from our referee tonight, Anthony Taylor from Wittenshaw in Greater Manchester. He's had a decent game so far. One or two decisions he may have got slightly wrong, like this one here. Brennan Johnson feels it's a Forest throw, but the linesman there, Gary Bezic, has said it's the other way, mate. We play on. Here's McGinn. Oh, what a nice turn that is. Inside the penalty area, ball knocked back to Watkins, and the ball can't be kept in. It was Ramsey who turned his man, and the ball way back for John McGinn, blocked by the defender, Manamin Konate. And Villa within an 8 of going in the lead there. Forest just caught napping, complaining about the throwing they didn't get. Yellow card for one of the Villa players. It looks like John McGinn to me, the captain. Didn't see the challenge, admittedly. Let's see the replay. Oh, yeah. Riding on Brennan Johnson, right in front of the referee's nose. And it was a tackle from behind. And under the laws of the game, that's an instant yellow card. So the 4th yellow card, and all correct. What about that for a turn from Ramsey Watkins, I think, was onside. Might have been a debatable one, whether that one would have gone to the VAR or not if Watkins had tapped that in. Remember, Villa, I also forget to add that Villa have had a goal disallowed, Ollie Watkins, but in the end, really, it would have been a good 2 yards offside on that occasion when the goal was chalked off. But having said all that, that would have been an interesting one if Watkins had put it in now just a few seconds ago. McGinn's booking has been confirmed now by television. That'll be there. In an action-packed first 50 minutes, that's for sure. Not a bad game by any means. I've seen better, but I've seen a far worse than this. Cash gets the ball forward. A nice ball, that is. And that's a good takedown there by Bendia. And another good cross. And I think it was Steve Cook that got back there and did really well. Here's Billy Coutinho now on the far side. Young, who scored the equalising goal after countering out Emmanuel Dennis's 15th minute strike. Cross deflects. Going to fall for Dean Henderson. Takes it well. Under pressure, admittedly, though, from 2 Villa players. Having said that, he took the ball really, really well. And superb bit of goalkeeping there. Steven Gerrard nodding and winking there at some of the play that Villa are putting together. But he's still a man under pressure. Needs a win, though. But he looks calm. We won't show it. If he is nervous, he isn't showing it. He looks very calm, cool, and calculated. I've got to get my thinking cap on in a little while because I've got to try and choose a player of the match in association with the commentary services. We sponsor our Man in the Match. We're sponsoring our Man in the Match award for the 2nd season running in our coverage. Thank you to Barry Swain for allowing us to promote his business on here. Just to remind you that we do have a Twitter handle on the TTR, but it's mainly not for streaming. It's not for streaming live commentaries. It's more for the breaking news, the transfer stories, or any manager sackings, any football news really. Run by the brilliant Russ Vernon, who's one of the brainchilds behind this, along with Barry Swain and Mike Harneman. Great concept. I don't know why I didn't think of that before, but anyway, check out the Twitter handle at Commentary Live 1 if you want the Twitter handle. And if you want to follow me, the commentator JB John Stuttard on Twitter, you can do. It's get me on Twitter handle now, but I'll tell you in a minute. Anyway, I'll tell you my Twitter handle actually. But terrific entertainment. The Commentary Live 1 is our actual feed. My Twitter handle, I sometimes keep forgetting this. It's JB Sports at JB Sports 11 if you want to follow me on Twitter, incidentally, guys. JB Sports 11. And of course, if you're on any of the YouTube platforms, whether it's JB Sports, Storm FM, TC Hub or TC Hub 2, please subscribe to any of the, please, we would like to have you subscribe to any of those channels and hit the notifications bell. And then you know which live commentaries are coming on next on either JB Sports, Storm FM, TC Hub or TC Hub 2. Those are YouTube platforms. If you're listening to this game relay stream on any of these platforms, I do urge you guys to subscribe to any of the streams any of those YouTube channels you may be listening to this delay stream on, or any future Commentary Hub game for that matter. So please hit that subscribe button and please leave a like if you can. Here's John McGinn in possession for Villa, but he loses possession that time. And here goes Morgan Gibbs White. This young lad, he's got pace to bed. He's got Brennan Johnson breaking here on this far side. Dennis is one waiting at the far post if they can get their heads up and get the ball into the penalty area, which they can't. It's going to be Morgan Gibbs White still. Brennan Johnson's now made his way into the penalty box. They've had to go backwards here with Foyer. And now Toffolo. Harry Toffolo, good ball by him. Here's Emmanuel Dennis taking up a position now on the left-hand side rather than centrally. And now the ball knocked away. And it's Aston Villa in possession. Two great teams, two great Midlands teams, both won the three European Cups between them. Let's not forget, Forest in 78 and 79, under the great Brian Clough, and Villa, would you believe, under Tony Barton in 1982. He replaced Ron Saunders halfway through that season, and Saunders controversially resigned to take over at Birmingham City, but so he never got to achieve the European dream that Villa had already set out on that season. Tony Barton took over and took the glory with it. Very quiet man he was, Tony Barton. So too was Ron Saunders. We get much away in his facial expressions, big Ron Saunders. And the title with Villa in 81, both won the title in the late 70s, early 80s. Villa Forest in 78 under Brian Clough, of course, won the League Cup that year as well, famously against Liverpool, that Old Trafford replay. The success they had under Brian Clough was just unbelievable. 4 League Cups, 1 League Championship, 2 European Cups, and now was a bit of afters between Yates and Ramsey. Just going, tempers just getting a little bit frayed here at this moment in time. 10 minutes into the second half here. I'm talking about the great history of these two clubs, and then we see little skirmishes like this from Yates and Ramsey just shoving each other to the ground. It's not called for. It's absolutely not called for. And Anthony Taylor's got a job on here, in my opinion, to try and keep the head on it. It's a Midlands clash. Tensions are running a bit high. There's a partisan Forest crowd. It is getting a bit tense out there. Villa have the free kick. Coutinho going to take it. Emmanuel Dennis being ordered to get back. Look at that. 18 fouls as well in this game. 8 for Forest, 10 for Villa. With her 4 yellow cards. It has been a bit of a dirty sort of game, this, hasn't it, really, in a lot of aspects. So a free kick then. Still a riveting encounter, though. Forest 1, Aston Villa 1. 57 minutes, 56 and a half minutes almost played. Coutinho now knocks the ball in there. The other player went tumbling. I think he slipped, actually. Tyrone Mings it was. The ball now threaded now to Emmanuel Dennis, trying to break out from midway inside his own half. Foul given against Douglas Luiz, who's absolutely incensed by that decision. Again, now just starting to get a little bit bitty now, and I hope the referee isn't going to follow suit. Now we're going to see a substitution here. Number 7, Nico Williams, the former Liverpool player, is going to come on. Welsh international. Could well be in the plane to Qatar with Wales this winter time. For the first ever Winter World Cup, of course. You'll be able to hear that with us, the greatness of the action on the TC Hub. And Sergio Aurier is taking a lot of strapping off as he makes his way off the field. And he might be protecting an injury, but anyway, he's taking the strapping off. It's lasting nearly an hour. He had a lot of the ball in the first half. Really did okay. And that's Nico Williams, a very accomplished player himself. This man can run and run and run. Show glimpses of what he could do in a Liverpool shirt. I don't think we've seen the best of him yet for Nottingham Forest, but well, we'll just have to wait and see. Ball knocked back again to goalkeeper Dean Henderson. Henderson now gives it to Boot with the left foot, and he boots it out of play into the main stand where we are for a throw-in. Number 7 he wears on the back of his shirt, Nico Williams. As I say, Welsh international, could well be on the plane with Robert Page. Of course, they could well be in the team to face England in one of the group games coming up in the tournament. Ball spread it out, and it's been kept in brilliantly by Cash, and Cash has done well inside the area. Ball knocked back again. Big chance here for Buendia. Ball pulled back here for Douglas Luiz. Can't shoot. Just maybe a bit behind him in the end. Young finding Mings. They're back on halfway now. Ezra Konsa now. Now again. Cash. Now then. Will he get the ball in? Oh, Buendia's got him behind. Buendia to the byline. Off the defender, which is Scott McKenna, and it's a corner. So Aston Villa at the Bridgeford end. Away to my right. Near side. McKenna and Cook having their hands full at the moment. Corner down to Villa in front of their supporters, hoping they can suck the ball into the back of the net. Still remains one apiece here at the City ground. We've played an hour, half an hour to play. Louise plays the ball into the penalty area. And the ball comes back. There's a player gone down there. They may well check it on the VAR. Here's Douglas Louise. Play continues. Header comes in. A great save. Great save from Dean Henderson. Ball knocked into the far post. And Dean Henderson had to get down and make the save. Not sure who it was. It may have been Ollie Watkins, possibly on that back post. But a dangerous moment there for Nottingham Forest. Villa nearly in front. Here's the ball played forward by Morgan Gibbs-White. Chase on now for Brennan Johnson. And it's a chase he'll lose. Goal kick. And there's a bit of pushing and shoving. Konza was involved. Oh, now then. Was that a foul on Yates by Yates on Konza? He certainly touches the back of him, but Konza may have delayed his fall somewhat, and that I think hasn't fooled either Anthony Taylor or Jared at the VAR at Stockley Park. Here goes Cash again down that right-hand side. He goes down. Referee says, no way in a month of Sundays you're getting that penalty, son. Carry on, he says. I think he was looking for that a bit, Cash. Against his old side as Douglas Louise again barges through, but he's stopped in his tracks. And now Forest can break with Nico Williams. Gets his first touch. We've played an hour here on the TC Hub. It's Forest on the break. 1-1 the score. Ball played into the penalty area. Headed away by Mings. It will be a throw-in midway inside the Villa half to Nottingham Forest. Nico Williams has the ball and will take the throw-in. 61 gone. Still 1-1 at the City Ground. A good second half here. Just starting to come possibly to the surface here. Remember, Forest started the night bottom. A point would take them above Leicester City on by a point. And Villa would stay 16 for the exact position where they were before this match started. Ollie Watkins on the break. Took the defender in front of him. Two Villa men in the penalty area. One is Coutinho and the other Buendia. Ball played in there towards Buendia, but it's Dean Henderson. Well over, hit the cross, and now here come Nottingham Forest on the attack themselves. And this is Ryan Yates. Number 23, is Royer, not Ryan Yates. Here's Harry Toffolo. Toffolo back inside. Good game this developing here. Konate, good play. Toffolo needs to be a good cross. It's a low cross. It's a poor cross, really, from Harry Toffolo. And a move that promised so much for Nottingham Forest turned out to be a damp squid. And at the other end, we've got Ollie Watkins breaking. It's one against Fredo, and it's Ollie Watkins breaking towards the penalty area, but it's well challenged there. And then Quixote gets involved, and then Toffolo, the referee's blown. I think it was an infringement there by McGinn. Steve Cooper wants a bit more retribution, possibly. He's furious. He may be more furious because Boris had an attack there, and maybe the referee felt bringing it back was the right option under the circumstances. Although one can sympathise with Steve Cooper and his anger there. Grimace on Stephen Gerrard's face. His team not in front. He needs a victory here tonight. Newly promoted, away from home. You need to be picking up points, really, if you're an established Premier League side. But Forest are giving them as good as they've got. Emmanuel Dennis, who's been the scourge of Villa for the last 2 seasons now. Scored home and away for Watford last season. And scored tonight, the opening goal. But in fairness to Villa, they've hit back with Ashley Young. So the ball now knocked back to Dean Henderson, who had no chance on the goal. That went by him. He's made a couple of smart saves to deny headers from Watkins and others in the second half so far. 64 minutes almost gone. Still, Nottingham Forest 1, Aston Villa 1 on all the TC Hub YouTube platforms, including JB Sports, Storm FM, TC Hub and TC Hub 2, and we're also on Twitch. Don't forget to subscribe to any of those platforms I've just mentioned that we stream TC Hub content on. And of course, if you are a Twitch subscriber, you can subscribe to us on Twitch as well. Here's a chance here for the cross from Toffolo. It's a deep cross towards Brennan Johnson. Ball back in there to Gibbs-White. Cancelled out of it. Still, Forest have possession deep inside Villa territory. Here's Brennan Johnson. Brennan Johnson will trick his man here. It's Ashley Young. Good football again. Gibbs-White with a shot and wide. Terrific effort from Morgan Gibbs-White with a toe poke of the right foot. Did absolutely superbly here. Knew exactly what he wanted to do when he swiveled away from Douglas Luiz. Tried to hit the ball from the outside of his foot. In the end, he just caught it all wrong. Steve Cooper knows that was going wide, but got everyone on the edge of the seats there, Morgan Gibbs-White. Nice turn, though. Good play from Forest, that. So we're inside the final 25 minutes here at the City Ground, and it's still 1-1. Looks like Philip Coutinho's come off and Danny Ings has come on. So it looks like Villa are going to a front two with Ollie Watkins and Danny Ings up front together, possibly with Buendia possibly in behind for the final 25 minutes. We're coming up towards the halfway mark of the second half. We're a couple of minutes from that point of the game. So there's the confirmation. Ings on, Coutinho off. Didn't really see much of Coutinho, really too much, the truth be told, tonight. Here's Harry Toffolo in possession. Danny Ings close at hand. Toffolo went down as the pass was played, but the referee was quite happy that Forest had good possession, and they have it now with Nico Williams. Feeds Brennan Johnson on the right. Brennan Johnson's cross gets a deflection that might go for a corner. No, it stays in play. Dennis keeps it alive. Emmanuel Dennis. Gibbs-White has got it. He's there too if he needs. Still Dennis trying to do a lot on his own, and in fact I think he tried to do too much. I think the ball back to Gibbs-White was a much better option on the left-hand side. If he'd just got his head up and just spotted that Gibbs-White was totally unmarked, he would have had the space required to get the ball into the penalty area, which you sometimes have to do when you're looking for a goal in a game that is so on edge like this one. Coming now towards the halfway mark of the second half. We have now played nearly 67 minutes. Here's Matty Cash to Ezra Konsa. Now Douglas Luiz still inside his own half. Now he's over the halfway line into the Forest half. John McGinn now. Villa playing between the lines, it looks like here. Good football this. Buendia has to go back. Douglas Luiz to John McGinn. Matty Cash is there on the right. Now McGinn. They go back infield. Still deep inside Forest territory. Konsa to McGinn. McGinn again. They're just looking for options and runners, and Forest have brought two banks of four back behind the ball, plus one attacking midfielder. I think all 11 men are back behind the ball, actually. 67 minutes gone. We're halfway through the second half. 67 minutes gone. Nottingham Forest 1, Aston Villa 1 on all the TCF platforms. JB Sports, Storm FM, TCF and TCF 2, and the TCF Twitch channel. Live commentary of this game here at the City Ground. It's Matty Cash on the right for Aston Villa. Ball played into the penalty area. Forest deal with it well. Ball knocked away by Konate. Konate looks to feed Nico Williams, I think. And no, it was Morgan Gibbs-White, sorry. And then the ball knocked back. 67 and a half minutes now. Here's Tyrone Mings. Still one apiece. It's the ball now is with John McGinn. Just shy of halfway inside his own half. He's now over halfway into the Forest half. Here's Buendia. Buendia's got three players ahead of him. One of them is Danny Ings. Makes a typical Ings run. The sort of run that he used to make quite often in Burnley colours. And the ball now deflects it. It's a throw in to Nottingham Forest. It's taken by Cash. Back to John McGinn. Now Tyrone Mings. Ashley Young. That's it on the left-hand side. Back inside to Mings. Still the ball being played exclusively in the Forest half. Watkins makes a break. Tries to chip the ball back. McGinn with a sprawling header from something like 18 yards out. It was a miscued header, and the rebound or the follow-up just wasn't picked up by any Villa man. Again, dangerous moments there for Nottingham Forest. But they've got away now with Nico Williams. He loses possession, however, and Villa have it back. Here's Watkins, and Ings is there too. But I think the flag is up for an offside decision. Indeed, it is. Ings had strayed offside as the ball was played in there. John McGinn with one of the, I don't think, well, as sprawling headers goes, it was a decent attempt, but not one of his better efforts. And it nearly fell for Jacob Ramsey as well on the follow-up, but Watkins did well, chased the lost cause. Again, miscued his header. Forest almost made a complete orcs of getting that. Here's Emmanuel Dennis down the other end. We're down at the Trent end now. As Nico Williams comes charging forward for Forest into the penalty area. Comes to Canati. Canati shoots! A great save from Martinez. A flying save by him. And that's the best move that Forest have fashioned in the second half. And that's the best we've seen from Manny Martinez in the second half. A flying save down and away to his left-hand side. In the end, it was a comfortable one. One or two other commentators alongside me for other platforms are saying that was a save for the television cameras. It may have been, but Canati did give that to Wallop. And we're going to see a substitution now. Number 16, Sam Surridge is going to come on for Emmanuel Dennis. So Steve Cooper now with 20 minutes exactly now to play. He's now throwing a change on himself. Remember, they can use up to 5 substitutes now under the new Premier League ruling. I don't know if it's some teams more than others, but obviously you've got to have 14 votes on anything in Premier League politics these days. Here's Cash getting it forward. Can McGinn keep it in? The answer is no. Sam Surridge on for Emmanuel Dennis. Just confirmed now on my monitor. And it's 1-1 then. As we now head towards the business end of the game here and at the end of this particular match day. A match day that's had so much excitement and drama that went before it. Saturday we saw City ramming forward, and the only surprise was that Erling Haaland had only scored 1 goal in the entire game. Jack Grealish got a couple there as they put Crystal Palace to the sword. Bournemouth beat Leicester. Spurs edged Brighton, who we've also heard that Enoch in Medbury will not be able to play football anymore because of her heart condition, and we're sorry to hear that. And our thoughts at the TCO go out to Enoch Urimbo's family and of course to Brighton. Of course, they'll lose a very talented player due to this condition. So our thoughts and prayers go out to his family and to Brighton and to Iwepo himself. Anyway, whilst I was talking about him, we've got a free kick now. Morgan gives White to take it for Forest. Move the inside the Villa half. That's a nice little switch out towards the left-hand side. Very tough, though, but he had to use Gibbs wide again. The players were very quick to get wide to the danger there. All knocked in there by Fryer, number 23. And now Gibbs White button and put it on that side. And he did well, Gibbs White. Douglas Luiz comes away with the ball and can hook it out. Down on the near touch line, it's Cook who will win that ball. And he's out of position if Forest lose it. But Canati now, who had that terrific effort. I think he was trying to raise the stakes after what Ashley Young did in the first half. Essentially, now the referee has blown. They're on possibly on Toffolo. Typical Louise foul, that. So we've had 73 minutes almost gone. The Trent End trying to whip up the atmosphere. You can't accuse, if it was for endeavour and enthusiasm, the Forest fans would be top of the Premier League for that. If only I got them more Premier League points than the potential 4 or 5 that they've got already. Gibbs White with a free kick now into the penalty area. There's a player gone tumbling there. Header one there by Yates. And now it comes to Buendia on the edge of the penalty area. Maybe worth another shout on the VAR, maybe. Of course, they'll check every decision and obviously alert the referee once the ball's out of play. But here's Jacob Ramsey. The game's gone on too long now for the referee to pull it back. And there's a chance in there for Ings. But Dean Henderson quickly snuffs the danger, gets the ball moving again from Nottingham Forest. Gibbs White has just kept that in play. That was a tight thing on that near side. But Buendia now, the other number 10, has stick the ball back in and he plays it in. And out comes Dean Henderson, takes the ball calmly again. And then gets Fryer on his way. Fryer towards the edge of the halfway line. And he's over it now. Plays a 1-2 and Yates Fryer. And just slowing the pace down. Quarter of an hour just over to go on the TTO. It's 1-1. And I'm now getting my thinking cap on for a potential player of the match. It's Nottingham Forest on the ball now with Nico Williams getting it down the line. Headed away by Tyrone Mings. Brennan Johnson's there. And Sam Surridge is one possession. Gets his first touch, gets into the action. And then the ball is knocked away once more. And it's a fella break on here with Jacob Ramsey. But well snuffed out by Nico Williams. Williams, he goes down. Bit of a wrestling match. And look at this. And it's all kicking off again. It's all kicking off again. Yellow card for Ramsey. And I'm certain Williams will get the same treatment for the reaction as well. It's all kicked off here. Everything just kicking off again. And the referee will have to take sterner action here. Nico Williams being ushered away here. Ramsey there involved. And the game has just lost its way a bit. There's the replay of the incident. Williams on the ball here. Ramsey pinches it. And then Williams barges in there, tries to win the ball back. Does so. And then Ramsey then just wrestles him to the ground. Williams takes exception to that. And then it just all kicks off then. The blue touch paper then at that point has been well and truly. And then it all turns out to be a complete free-for-all. We've had a few fresh points in this game. And with a quarter of an hour to play. And I wonder if Nico Williams has been booked for his. And then there was a headbutt there by Douglas Luiz there. And look at that. Now Jared Gillette may well want to get involved here. They'll have to check it on the VAR. Surely. I've just seen a headbutt there from Douglas Luiz. Will VAR have to check it? There's going to be a Dendonka's going to come on for Ramsey, who's obviously been booked, but no, it's not Ramsey. It's McGinn that's gone off, and then Donker on, who's got the captain's armband at this point, but it'll all transpire himself in the end. So Dendonka off, McGinn on. And the free kick after all that for Nottingham Forest. Now then, have we got a quarter of an hour left or what in this game? Now then, free kick into the penalty area. It promptly goes into the mixer once again. The ball will break there to number 26 in Nottm. And that is Scott McKenna, but he can't break. And then the ball played in, and Andy Martinez picks it up. And now Forest looking to put the pressure on themselves. There's a Villa substitution being prepped. We're in for the last 13 minutes here. It's going to be hair and scaring for the last 13 minutes. Are we going to see any more incident and excitement to rush us the whole of to sink a battleship here? Been an amazing match at the City Ground. Been a good game of football. Well battled, well fought out, but at the moment, you can win anybody 3 points. Probably just going to be the one each at the moment, the way things are. Mings has now gone forward. Picks out Dendonka, who gets his first touch. Now Konza. Konza now uses Cash. Dendonka takes possession. It's Villa now on the ball. The ball left for Mings on halfway. He's the last man before the goalkeeper, incidentally. I'm amazed that VAR didn't check that Douglas Luiz incident. Be a very big talking point, that one, after the game. Here's Dendonka. Dendonka keeps possession. Good football this now. Cash for Villa. Back to Ezra Konsa. He's got to watch his step, of course. 78 minutes gone on the TCR. 12 to play. Still one apiece. Here's Mings again. Takes on number 16 here, Sam Surridge. And then the ball knocked back once again. Douglas Luiz. Villa knocking on the door for this potentially winning goal. Cash now. Has to go back to Konza. Konza back to Mings. Good finish to this game here. Can one of these two teams pinch it right at the death here? Dendonka has possession. Finds Cash. Cash cuts inside. Uses... Oh, that's a foul. That's a foul. Freuer will be booked, I'm sure, for the tackle from Miano Buendia. If not spoken to anyway. Here's the decision again. Yeah, it takes him from behind. And Freuer at least has been spoken to, if not booked. The referee's just let that one go. He hasn't booked for you for that. And that is a very interesting moment that in the game. So an interesting moment now. 10 minutes left, almost left to play. Buendia has a free kick. Forest have got 3 men in that wall. Henderson making sure that the wall is well set. And on a previous free kick, Villa built a 3-man wall in front of the Forest 4. With a Philip Coutinho free kick. There was 4 in the wall. There was 2 in front, Mings and Dendoncker. Now, Any Martin Buendia has got an opportunity here to sink Nottingham Forest here with 10 minutes to go. Wall just about looks as if 10 yards, but they'd run that 3 in the wall before that 4 in the Forest wall. So gives Buendia a chance, and it again hits the Forest wall. That's a poor free kick again, and then Buendia's fouled his man. Free kick to Nottingham Forest. Ramsey now going off, and number 35, Cameron Archer, going to come on now. The last 10 minutes of the game. Both teams plotting a late show here at the City Ground. 1-1. Does nothing for Steven Gerrard. In the grand scheme of things, it does a little bit of something for Steve Cooper's side, because the consolation will be they move off the bottom, but they're still in the bottom 3. So in a lot of respects, it doesn't really do that much either. As the ball breaks now to Archer, and Archer has got pace to burn. He's got fresh legs, so that could be a difference. He turns nicely there, and he's fouled or was tripped. Roy goes in with a challenge. Remember, he hasn't been booked, so throw into Nottingham to Aston Villa. Oh, and Archer looks a very good pacey player. I think we saw him at Barrow last year in the EFL Cup, and he stole the show there. Ashley Young has since taken the captain's armband from John McGinn. His equalising goal looks like sharing the points here with 81 minutes gone. Still 9 to play. Still could find a winning goal. Konate gets it forward. Chances here now for Surridge. Surridge now looking to play a good ball over the top, and he almost found Brennan Johnson, but Tyrone Mings was there. Good astute defending. Nico Williams loses out to Douglas Luiz. Now here come Villa. Can somebody win in the last sort of 7 or 8 minutes or so here? Here they go again. Archer surly body check there. Find the captain. Ryan Yates, and that'll be a bookable offence. So Yates goes under the referee's notepad. It was Ollie Watkins rather, not Cameron Archer. So Watkins fouled there. Yates, professional foul. Yellow card offence. 8 to play, still 1-1. Ryan Yates booked. A lot of bookings being brandished about. All of them correct decisions from Mr. Taylor. Young and Buendia, the 2 main committee over this free kick. The Villa fans now willing their team on, all 2,800 of them. Can they suck that ball into the back of the Bridgebred end goal? We've seen some late drama here at the City Ground already this season. Bournemouth won from being 2-0 down. Here's a free header from Archer, and he misheaded it. Miscued the header at the back post, and that was probably a really easy chance there. It just wouldn't drop, and well, Cameron Archer will not get a better opportunity than that at the far post. And the only disappointment was he miscued his header at the back vital moment. Here's Dendoncker now for Villa, who's signing from Wolves this summer. Douglas Luiz back to Leandro Dendoncker. Are we going to see a late show for Villa? We almost saw it there at the end with Cameron Archer. This is Dendoncker. Decent cross. 3 in the penalty area in light blue for Villa. And a change strip. Ball comes away to a foul there on one of the Forest players. And I would say it was Douglas Luiz again on Ryan Yates. Let's have a look at this free kick again. It's Archer here, number 35, steering in at the back post. I think he's tried to head it back across the goal, if the truth be told now, looking at the replay. But really, when you've got a free header there, you want to be trying to hit the target there. Big opportunity there for Cameron Archer to make himself a Villa hero and to release A lot of pressure on Steven Gerrard at that particular moment. Anyway, free kick to Nottingham Forest, and it's wasted by Dean Henderson, quite frankly. Surridge did his utmost best to keep that in, but he was never really going to keep that in, was he? So a throw now to be taken by Yates. Forest 1, Villa 1. We're inside the last 5.5 minutes of normal time plus stoppage time, and that's good play by Toffwell. Runs 20 yards, but he went over the halfway line. The referees are poised to blow for a free kick to Villa. He does, so a free kick it is, taken quickly. Here's Douglas Luiz. Coming towards the final round of this epic encounter, and it's had so many flashpoints. We've seen 2 exceptional goals, both of which admittedly have come in the first half. Decent game of football, not as tremendous as the games we saw yesterday between Arsenal and Liverpool and Everton against Manchester United, and of course that comeback victory for Crystal Palace against Leeds. Sorry, Russ, had to bring that up. Anyway, goal kick it is to Nottingham Forest. We've got less than 5 minutes plus stoppage time to play at the City ground. Henderson, right foot, kicks away from the 6-yard line. Ball flicked on, Surridge chases that one, but out comes Annie Martinez to gather for Villa. Good game this now as we go towards the end. Here's Tyrone Mings in possession. Douglas Luiz has it for Villa. As Riconsa now charges forward. Uses Luiz rather now. Tyrone Mings just gone to the left-hand side here. Mings, the centre back. And it looks as if he's gone further forward. And as far as final third entries is concerned, 45 for Forest, 62 for Villa. And I think that's the 63rd now they've gone into. I think that's 64. Here's Comza now with the latest. Final third entry into the penalty area it goes, and well taken by Dean Henderson. 4 minutes to go. Less than that, actually. 4 minutes between both teams getting the point. Who's going to nick the late winner if there is to be one? Dean Henderson with the kick. Is it the big long boot away? Surridge takes it nicely, but the referee has seen some jostling and pushing by Surridge. Free kick for Villa. What will be going through Steve Cooper and Steven Gerrard's mind? There's the hierarchy there. New contract for Steve Cooper, as I said at the top of the commentary. Carl Froch is also here tonight. The former world champion boxer Frank Clark there too. Forest ground legend, of course. Gary Birtles is also there, another Forest legend. A lot of famous supporters. Stuart Broad, of course, a famous Forest fan as well. As Forest now look for this late winning goal. Here goes Surridge. He stays onside. Surridge plays it in there towards Morgan Gibbs-White. Good skills by Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White shoots and it deflects away. Now here come Villa now, looking to win it themselves. It's Cameron Archer. He's past one player. He's into the Forest half. He tries to go past Yates. Tries to play a 1-2 there with Watkins. Cameron Archer now, full of running, this young lad. 2 minutes almost to play. Ball played in there, and Archer gets it now. Archer now to the byline. Crosses back from the left-hand side. Turned away by the defender, which was Scott McKenna. And now Archer still has it. This man is boundless. This man knows no bounds, Archer. He's a good lively player, and then there's a potential of a free kick there. Villa fans aren't happy. Referee said get up. He doesn't see it that way. He's not going to give it. Next to Premier League football in the calendar will be Brighton against away at Brentford. Two teams you would expect to be in mid-table this season. We fight it out at the Brentford Community Stadium at 8 o'clock on UK time on Friday. We've seen tonight a good game of football played in a very committed, shall we say, spirit, although it has been tendency to boil over at times. Substitution being prepped by Nottingham Forest at this moment in time as I talk to you. What a finish now, we're 1-4 now. And we're going to see a finish now. We're inside the last minute of normal time here at the City Ground. Nottingham Forest 1, Aston Villa 1. Ball pumped into the Forest half of the field towards the far part side. And then the ball headed forward once again and out of play. Goal kick given. Steve Cooper kicking, living every moment on that touchline, kicking every ball. Essentially here at this present moment. We've got to finish with a flourish here. Off comes Morgan Gibbs White. Done really well tonight. And I've got to choose a player of the match as well. And it's a very tough one to call because we've seen some great performances by a lot of the players. But I'm going to give it Ashley Young. And the reason why I'm going to give it Ashley Young basically is because his goal really was a superb goal. He's done really well. He's looked, you know, for a man of his age, 34, 35, he's bounded up and down that left-hand side like a teenage kid. And for that reason, and the goal itself, I'm going to give the player of the match to, it's sponsored by, of course, by the commentary service, to Ashley Young of Aston Villa. So that's my player of the match choice. We're into 3 added minutes, for which we played 30 seconds of the free. Of the first of the free. Into 30 seconds worth. Now, 2.25 minutes to go. Then Duncan now for Villa. Who's going to pinch a late goal here? Tony Harrington deciding that 3 minutes was essentially enough. I think that's a fair reflection on things, how the second half has gone. And you've got to try and give every credit to Anthony Taylor for trying to let the game breathe. Hasn't been easy with the flashpoints and all that type of stuff. That's a foul there by Budia. Clear push. And a free kick to Nottingham Forest. Budia not trying to get involved in any afters. Well, disappointing enough for Stephen Gerrard. Let's talk about his job being under threat. He needed a good result, a positive result. A point's not a disastrous result by any means, but doesn't keep the Wolves from the door. Any 3 points normally does give you that breathing space. And through for the 4 to the Villa faithful. But the Forest fans are still there, jumping and screaming and enjoying life in the Premier League. If it does end a stalemate, I think it will possibly suit Forest more than it will suit Villa. Forest, of course, will move off the bottom. They're not out the bottom 3, but they'll see that as a confidence booster. They've not lost. They have lost their last 5, so it will stop the rot in a way, and it would be a good basis and good axis in which to start from, should they hold on for the draw. And if I'm being truthfully honest, in the second half, I don't think either team has done enough to warrant maybe winning the game outright. So in that respect, maybe a point may just be a fair result, but it will suit Forest more than it will suit Aston Villa. Because Villa were expected to pick up the 3 points, being the established club. But no team's going to come to the City Ground and have it easy, unless you're Manchester City and Arsenal at the moment. Liverpool have got to come here in a couple of weeks' time, of course. That'll be a massive game on the Saturday lunchtime Saturday lunchtime feast by the banks of the River Trent, won't it? Anyway, 3 kicks now to Nottingham Forest. We've played the 3 minutes. This will be the last play of the game. Committed performance from both teams as that ball is played in there. Well, we see one last chance now. Ended away by Mings. Referee poised to blow a whistle to his mouth as the shot comes in. And there we go. The end of the game. A shake for Tony Harrington there by Steve Cooper, and then shakes Stephen Gerrard's hand. So this is the situation. Forest move up to 19th with 5 points. Villa stay 16 with 9 points. Emmanuel Dennis put Nottingham Forest ahead on 15 minutes. Ashley Young, our player of the match, equalised with a 25-yard cracker on 22 minutes. From then on in, it got a little bit feisty. It got a bit bitty towards the end. And in the end, when you look back at the final analysis, I don't think either side, even though it was a decent game of football, I don't think either side did enough really in the final third to warrant any of them getting 3 points. So I think in the grand scheme of things, a draw's about right here on the TC Hub. I hope you've enjoyed our commentary stream, our delayed commentary stream of Nottingham Forest against Villa, as the teams now walk off at the City Ground with the final score here: Nottingham Forest 1, Aston Villa 1. We'll see you again for more live and delayed action on the TC Hub. But from me, JB, I hope you've enjoyed it. Very good evening to you all. Good night.